America? I am Graham Allen, and I am severely ticked off in this episode.
You're so cute.
This is our very first episode. We like to be honest with you guys, so I'm trying very hard to. I'm hungry. I have a headache. And this is our very first episode where we filmed an entire episode
In the new studio.
in the new studio, only to find out that something happened to the audio 4 minutes into the episode, and we filmed an entire episode for nothing. And
it was a good episode,
yeah,
y'all.
it was a lot of viral moments probably on that episode. I'm going to be watching this freaking record button like a hawk.
I got you now.
It's really hard to replicate that kind of stuff. Well, no, it's not really hard. It's impossible. And it's extremely
So basically your stuff's going to be mediocre now. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so the episode that you're listening to is going to be a media. It's like that Jack Black or Tenacious D song. This is not the greatest song in the world. This is a tribute because they couldn't remember the greatest song that they ever did. This is that episode. This is not the best episode ever.
Of Dear America.
This is a tribute. Yeah, so we're going to call this World War C. And I had this really good segment in the first episode of how I came up with it from World War Z with Brad Pitt and blah, 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 blah.
It's still good because of the zombies. So let's get into it.
I hate everybody. I hate everyone right now. I hate everyone equally.
Jake is here from Dallas.
Yeah. So Jake is joining us virtually or digitally. Is it virtually or digitally? It's digitally.
Made a great joke about him being a wizard.
Both.
It's both. Jake is in Dallas right now, and so because of our new technology, it looks like he's right here.
Possible.
Yeah, he's right here in the studio.
Taylor's here. Hey,
Taylor. Our
her phone
newest
went
edition
off in the
is here.
last segment.
Yeah, we had this
We're
really
still throwing
funny
her under the bus about it.
part where Taylor's phone went off, so she's already committed the cardinal sin. Not even 5 minutes into the podcast, which you wouldn't have been able to hear it because it stopped recording at 4 minutes. So
she got away with it.
Yeah, she got away with it, but not on my watch. Anyway, all right, so. It's really hard.
Got this, babe.
I'm trying really hard.
We're going to talk about the coronavirus.
Not to be upset right this second. All
World War C. Corona.
So there is a lot of. I know what I want to talk about really quick. I like to. We didn't do this the first time, so we're going to do it at the first part of the podcast this time. My new book, America 316, is available for pre-order right now. You can go get your book at America316.com. We were blown away by the first week's sales. I can't tell you the exact number because we're not allowed to. I know that sounds like a cop-out. Oh, that means he didn't sell any books.
No, it's actually really good.
Billions.
No, they tell billions of books sold.
His arm's going to fall off from signing them all.
I will say what my initial goal was. My initial goal was just 1,000 books in the first week. That was my initial goal. I will say that we have done exponentially better than that, to where now we really want to hit like maybe 12,000 books in the first 6 weeks. That would be really big for us if we did that. So
that'd be awesome.
So
you can support us, continue to support us by going to America316.com, getting my new and my very first book, America 316. Every order right now gets signed, so make sure you go check that out. If you like books, if you don't like books, buy it anyway and just leave it sitting there, or throw it away. I don't care. Somebody commented, they were like, if I buy it, it's going straight in the trash. And I responded with, well, I've already got your money, so who's stupid now? So anyway,
please buy the book.
I was like, hey man, you can use it for toilet paper. You can use it for whatever you want. I just need that order.
You do You do have the audio book available too, right?
We do have the audio book available. I have no idea how you sign an audio book, but if you would like to purchase that, you can purchase that as well. But yeah, right this second, the hardcover is available for purchase. And yeah, I want to do some really cool things. My actual copies of the book are on their way. And then we're going to really get into talking about it, which is something I'm excited about. All right. What?
Coronavirus.
Oh, yeah, the coronavirus, the C virus, the C word. Cancer took the C word. You can't say that, but, you know, it's the corona,
sure.
The COVID-19. COVID-19.
Yep.
Such a stupid name. Anyway, but before we get into that, let's get into a sponsor. All right. Cell phone companies are garbage. Every time you go to AT&T, Verizon, you're actually voting for abortion because those companies do not care. Patriot Mobile is the exact opposite. I've seen them at the March for Life. I've had drinks with these people. We've hung out. We've eaten dinner. They love America. They love your rights. So go to patriotmobile.com/Graham right now. Every time you do, they actually donate parts of the bill to organizations that stand up for your rights. Right now, get free activation when you use the offer code GRAHAM plus a free gift when you open a new line. Call their U.S.-based customer service at 972-PATRIOT, patriotmobile.com/Graham, patriotmobile.com/Graham. All right, so I know that I just lied to you and I said we were going to talk about the coronavirus when we came back from the sponsor, but in the last episode that we recorded, this is going to be a lot of what we did the last one. We're going to try to recreate it here. We gave a nod to International Women's Day,
yes.
and I want to give a nod to the two women in our office.
Aww.
Because they're so amazing, yet so stereotypical in so many ways.
I forgot. Shoot, I thought he was going to forget about this.
So
we were just rolling
I am
along.
not one for stereotypes. However, when two people, the only estrogen-infused human beings in this office, do something so stereotypically ladylike, I have to point it out. So I'm at the gym doing my normal routine before work, and I get the text message. There are two women in this office, two. Jake is not here. He's in Dallas, Texas, and moi. Two people forgot their key this morning, and we're sitting outside having to wait on me to come let them in. If that is not a nod to the superiority of women, I don't know what is.
First of all, me and Taylor are sharing a key because we just moved into this office. And second of all, we had a very good girl bonding time in the car waiting for you to come and let us in.
Good. I bet Jake knows where his key is right this second, and he's in Dallas.
Do you, Jake?
Yes.
He's probably got it in his keychain because that's what men do. The second we get a key, we put it immediately on the keychain. Ladies like to, I don't know, throw it in their purse or whatever
That's valid.
it is.
You know what? It's International Women's Day. I feel like y'all should say things you were thankful about.
Every
about
time
women.
Alyssa asks me to go into her purse to get something,
that's not,
let me
still
tell
not
you
on the
what I
topic.
find. All right. I find floating around debit cards. She doesn't even put her debit cards back into her wallet.
You know what? I always know where they are.
They're just like floating around. No, you don't.
I do. It's like a game of Go
We
Fish.
have lost so many cards for
Every
Alyssa.
day at the checkout
And
register
we have
is like a game.
And we have to, like there was like a 10-day period where we had no idea where one of the debit cards
And
was.
you know what? I found it.
Yeah, and then she finds it 10 days later. It is the most.
Yes, and you know what? Yes, Taylor, thank you, who just texted me. We have chapstick, tissues, I have Band-Aids,
And I never
have
need
makeup.
any of those things.
But our children do. We have
Never
snacks to
have
keep
I
them
ever
quiet.
said, you know what
If
I
they
need, babe? A Band-Aid.
A bottle of
you
water
got one of
because our
those?
children always are thirsty.
Oh my
Just
gosh.
saying.
Anyway,
Who do you come
we
to when you need
love
something?
you,
Our purse.
ladies. We love you. And I want to give a nod to the true heroes of International Women's Day. In the UK, women who were probably unattractive decided to pose topless and scream about what they called climate rape. So there's nothing more attractive and empowering. Gross. There's nothing more. There's nothing more attractive and empowering than some middle-aged women, probably with not implanted boobs, standing topless with, screaming about climate rape. Hold on. Charlie Kirk just texted me while we're
Okay, well, while you're talking to Charlie, I would like to actually shout out because I noticed it was Greta Thunberg, we had Hillary Clinton, we had, when I Googled International Women's Day, it was all these people, and none of them conservative, mind you. Yes, Michelle Obama, no one conservative. So I want to give a shout out because I love Nikki Haley. I follow her. We've met her several times. She's a wonderful woman. She did because every day is International Women's Day. So shout out to her. She's in a third world country, and it's showing her serving. And then Melania, shout out to her. She was not recognized at all. I mean, I looked. I'm sure she was recognized on some, but I want to shout her out because she honored several female trailblazers of this generation at the State Department. And so I love Melania. I love Nikki Haley. There are so many other conservatives who also should be recognized for International Women's Day.
Yeah, and speaking about Nikki Haley, that kind of leads us into our next topic, Graham.
We talked about this. Yeah, we talked about this. Well, we're all over the place now. We haven't even talked about the coronavirus yet. But yeah, so let's do this. Let's talk about women first, since that's the thing that we're going on, and then we'll lead into the coronavirus. The thing that's going to take us all out, and zombie apocalypse is going to finally happen, and
we will be ready.
I really think that I would do well in the zombie apocalypse.
I think you'd do great. I would die immediately.
All right, so let's get into continuing about women. Speaking about empowering women on International Women's Day, did you guys know? Of course you know because you heard it last episode. Either way, Dolly Parton has decided that for her 75th birthday, she wants to pose for Playboy again.
Just like
things that make you just...
now, did Playboy reach out to her, you think?
No,
or
she
reached out to Playboy?
Zero chance.
And does
Playboy
anyone
reached out to her?
Does anyone still buy Playboy? That's my question.
Of course they
people
do.
Still
do they?
Of course they do.
Oh, I mean, I don't know when there's an internet.
Jake reads the articles.
You probably
Whoever their
Is
journalists
it more
are.
article-based now?
Top-notch class. Okay. You want to figure out a way to get men to read articles, put boobs in the middle of the paragraphs, and buddy, dudes are there. Anyway, look, I can understand people maybe wanting to see Dolly Parton's original Playboy when she was not 75 years old. But I don't really know why you would want to look at a 75-year-old I can't even talk. It's disgusting.
Sounds like you're an ageist.
It's gross. I am an ageist. 75, you need to keep that stuff underneath your shirt
where nobody can see it. Everyone knows Dolly Parton has had a lot of work done.
I don't care. It's still 75-year-old
honestly,
skinned
now
boobs.
that I'm thinking about it, I don't support her doing that at all because I don't support Playboy at all. But just for me, if she wanted to just send me, I would.
So are you an
I'm
body,
anti-posing nude.
Freedom of body person?
I am.
How dare you?
I'm very conservative.
If people want to express themselves by showing their body, that's their gosh darn business, okay?
I mean, it's their American right. I don't support it, but go for it.
I just don't support a 75-year-old doing it. That's it. All I'm saying is 75 is too old. Speaking of further empowerment of women, Rashida Tlaib has, of course, shown that she is the classiest of all congresswomen. Yes. She decided to give a speech at a pro-choice, I guess, rally or something. I don't know. Let's play that clip.
Yo, you know what? You're so freaking obsessed with what I decide to do with my body. Maybe you shouldn't even want to have sex with me.
Yo.
Yo.
I don't know what it... I immediately don't respect anyone that starts a sentence with yo.
I'm going to go around and just start saying that. Taylor, you should too. Yo.
I will not respect your statement in that moment. I will respect you as people.
Thank you.
But I will not listen to you at that moment. I will immediately check out. Don't have sex with Rashida Tlaib if you don't want her murdering children. Seems fair. Negative once have I wanted to have sex with Rashida Tlaib.
Nope, me either.
I'm a married man. I don't want to have sex with anybody else. But even if I wasn't, I would not want to have sex with Rashida Tlaib. I'm just saying. I went into this whole list last time of these things that I'd rather do. I'd rather have consecutive root canals.
Oh, yeah.
I would rather play in traffic. I would rather I would rather put the water on Joe Biden's legs to push the hair down and watch it curl back up than to have sex with Rashida Tlaib. I'm sorry. Can you imagine?
No, I don't want to.
More
I'd rather
non-intimate setting in your life, having every single person go with me down this disgusting journey really quick.
I would rather spend a night in Bernie Sanders' recliner.
Oh my God.
Would you just imagine what the talking points would be afterwards, like just for a second? You know what I mean? Like most people, when they think about one night stands and stuff, they always think, there's two types of people. There's two people that can completely just be like whatever the next day. And then there's people that like want to know like, well, what happens now? I have nightmares thinking what the conversations would be with Rashida Tlaib afterwards. That just seems
sign her.
Sadness and shame would be associated with that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's just
about the coronavirus.
If I got the coronavirus after that, I would be upset.
I would rather take my chances with the coronavirus.
Cough on me.
Than someone sneeze in my face before I would ever have sex with Rashida Tlaib. Anyway, all right, moving on. I apologize if your children are listening to this episode, but it's something that happened in the news. We had to address it. Rashida Tlaib, real men don't want to have sex with women who would murder babies. In the last episode, Alyssa really irritated me because she defended there's some men who would have sex with people that murder
and
children.
Jake agreed.
And then I clarified, which I feel like I shouldn't have had to, by simply saying the exact same sentence that I said before. Real men.
There it is.
Dude, it's the same sentence.
I know, but sometimes when you say things quickly, people don't catch it. And so
people watching this on YouTube are probably wondering what the crap I'm looking at now, because now I'm paranoid and I keep shifting back to like the big red record button to make sure that this thing is recording. Hang on. Okay. Yes, it's still good. All right. Sorry.
We're good.
I'm going to have a fear for forever now.
Until Jake gets here. Jake, it was
Jake. Such a disheartening blow when we found out that it didn't record. It was that moment where you're just like, I don't even know how to describe it. I was so mad.
Hey,
it was really rough.
Let's get into the DNC. But before we do, let's get into our second sponsor.
Fine. All right. Yes. Let's talk about this Democratic presidential candidacy, just dumpster fire. And everything that's been going on with it. But before we do, let's get into a sponsor. All right, SimpliSafe is a sponsor that's been around with us for a long time. They're super simple, super easy. Even I was able to install it. Many people don't want to take the time to get a security system because it's too hard, it's too complicated. SimpliSafe blankets your whole home in safety. You get comprehensive protection for your entire home, outdoor cameras, and doorbells. You barely notice it's there. Anyone can do it. Even I did, and it's only 50 cents a day with no contracts. Go to SimpliSafe.com/Dear America today, and you'll get free shipping and a 60-day risk-free trial. You've got nothing to lose. Go now and be sure to go to SimpliSafe.com/Dear America. That's SimpliSafe.com/Dear America. All right, so we're getting back into this now. Let's talk about, and I know this is titled World War C. But that comes at the end, all right? There's a lot of stuff to talk about the coronavirus, but that gets in the end. Let's talk about the presidential candidacy going on right now in the Democratic Party. So for those of you who have not been paying attention, which I can understand why you wouldn't, because it's been rough. This whole thing started off with about like 21 people at first. And then there were some people that like jumped in just 3 months ago. Mike Bloomberg. Anyway, that's something we didn't talk about the last episode. Last Friday, I posted a social media video about MSNBC running with this tweet that said Mike Bloomberg spent $500 million on his campaign and lost. There's 327 million people in America. He could have given every American $1 million and still had money left over. And basically everybody on the the show was like, yeah, it is true, and that's so sad. And what an eye-opening way of looking at it. Blah 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 blah. So I do this video of how stupid people are, and $500 million divided by 327 million is not $1 million. It's $1.53 per American. Most of you have seen that video now. That's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is the number of people that proceeded to tell me that I was an idiot and I don't know how to do math the right way.
I saw it.
Because why would you, here's their biggest argument, okay? Why would you divide 327? You would simply subtract 327 million, which would leave 173 million left over. You idiot. Like, that's what I got. And
what?
So
yeah, it's true. So don't accuse us Mississippians of
so
being
for
stupid.
anyone here, okay, I'm gonna do an experiment right now. And for those of you who aren't watching on TV, you're missing out here. All right, this is a Mr. Rogers neighborhood here. Okay, so I have 5 things on my desk. I got a shaker, a pen, a password to our Wi-Fi, my wallet, and my phone. All right, Mike Bloomberg spent $500 million, right? So that is 5 piles of 100 million. Okay, all right, 5 piles of 100 million. So each one of these piles represents $100 million, okay? If I wanted to give away $500 million to 5 people, here's the money right here. That's 5, right? Okay, well, now let's break it down a little further. If you have 327 million people and you want to give $1 million to each one of those people, then you would need 327 million piles of $1 million, which is $327 trillion. Dummies. Stupid people.
Yeah.
That's why you divide, because you're not subtracting dollar for dollar. You're saying there's 327 million people to share 500 million. People are so dumb. So dumb. It's we wonder how people like Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden are leading in the polls right now. It's because we've got people who don't even understand how to divide 500 million over 327 million people.
But that is a problem because it sounds good.
Well,
they're
replacing math class with gender studies too.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
That's part of the problem.
All right, so let's discuss this thing. So 20 some odd people started off. This was the party that said that we are inclusive, we are pro-woman, we're pro-gay, we're pro-trans, we're pro-minority, we're going to reshape America for the better. Yet here we are several months later, and the only 2 people standing are 70-plus-year-old white men. The gay people are gone, the women are gone, the minorities are gone, the Asian is gone. Andrew Yang, he's gone, he's out. They have literally, when the Republican candidacy happened in 2016, other than Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, and
Ben Carson,
everybody else was white. Pretty much. That was it. The DNC actually had a really diverse group, man. They had a woman of color. They had multiple women. Tulsi Gabbard, she's not completely, I don't know what her heritage is. She's still in, technically, I guess. She's just in for some kind of like Spartacus movement. There's no way that she's ever got any kind of shot at all. But I digress. They got rid of the gay people. They got rid of the people of color. They got rid of the women of color. They got rid of the women.
Oh.
And you've got the oldest person ever to run for president, who is a socialist / communist. And then you got Joe Biden. Okay.
Oh,
I got to say, you called that, Graham. You called Joe Biden.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did.
I did. And everybody argued with me about it too. They were like, no, Joe Biden never got it.
That's right. And we said you have this crazy gift.
Well, in my defense, though, I think this was the DNC saving face, saying, let's give Buttigieg, Warren, the name, recognition is already there. Let's wait until next time. Let's just take the fall with Joe this time.
Yeah, but that's what I said. I said the DNC is still not ready to go too extreme yet. So you already see what's going on. All right. So Sanders, now granted, I am pro sabotaging Sanders because he's a socialist. All right. He should not be allowed to run for president. So I'm pro sabotaging him. I am. You heard it here. I don't care.
Well, he's not a Democrat.
Exactly. And he's a socialist. He should not be able to run for president. America's not a socialist country, period. All right. Warren, Buttigieg, Klobuchar, or Klobacher, as I like to call her, they stayed in longer than they should have to mess up Sanders. That's it. They took away votes in states that it was kind of up in the air, and then Biden ended up pulling it out. If Warren hadn't have been in there during Super Tuesday, Sanders probably would have swept the thing. But Warren was in there until a day afterwards, and then she dropped out. It was very strategic. But let's talk about this. Is it time, and we did talk about this the last episode, giving a nod to Joe Rogan, because Joe Rogan started this conversation on his podcast. Is it not time for us to claim with Joe Biden's family, his campaign, elderly abuse? Is it not time for us to point out the fact that this man is obviously not well? Okay? There is obviously onsets of dementia or Alzheimer's going on.
Sure.
This man, you've all seen viral clips of some things. He forgets where he is. All right. He never has any idea what state he's in. He has claimed he's running for the Senate. He has forgotten that his wife is not his sister. What else?
That's never good.
He forgot the Constitution. All men are created, the thing. All men are
Barack
created
Obama.
equal. He forgot. That's what I was getting at. Alyssa ruined the punchline there because she's already heard it.
Sorry.
All right.
I didn't want you to forget it.
Well,
Barack America.
Anticlimactic point there. The last episode, it was super climactic. The point I was going to make was that you haven't even seen all of the clips. There are some clips that aren't super viral where Biden was talking and he literally forgot President Obama's name. In the clip, he says, President, my boss. Joe Biden worked with Biden. He called him Biden. There's another one. He forgot his own name, Biden, but he forgot President Obama's name. This man was the vice president to Barack Obama for 8 years, and he only remembers him as his boss. This man is
Barack America.
Barack America. This man is not well, guys. He's not well. He's senile. This man is not healthy enough to be the president. Bernie Sanders had a freaking heart attack and heart caths put in the middle of the campaign trail. He's 78 years old. Yeah. That means by the time, if he were elected, he would be 79 or turning 79. By the time it happened, 4 years from that, he would be 83 years old, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Something else you called, Graham, Nikki Haley potentially having a vice president run. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so there's another one that I kind of called there. Now this is just rumor, all right? This is just rumor mill. There's a lot of rumors going around that Trump will make a VP switch the day after the DNC nominates.
And the reason the rumor is going around is because Nikki posted that she has a big announcement, which could be anything.
Could be anything. There's a lot of people that think that, myself included, that the one weak area of Donald Trump is single, childless women. He just doesn't poll very well with single, childless women. Now, everybody listening to this will be going, I'm single and I got no kids and I love Donald Trump. I'm not talking to the people that are listening to this show right now.
Right.
Obviously, you're not the demographic of people that I'm talking to when I say that. I'm talking about the millions of women with no kids that hate Donald Trump. And I originally said this when Warren was surging initially and we were talking about the possibilities of what if Warren got the nod, I said Trump would have to switch his VP to combat Warren because Warren would energize those women that I'm talking about, and that's a big deal, okay? If we're talking true election stuff, we need not only every single person that voted for Trump in 2016, we probably need to convert a little bit more. All right. I think Trump is in a very, very good position to not only landslide the Electoral College, but also win the popular vote this time. I really do. I think he's got a really good shot. But if Warren had got the nod, this was our original conversation, he would have to take Pence off and he would have to get a Nikki Haley to run with him. In fact, I wonder if we can find the clip of that somehow, some way. Maybe not this episode, but eventually we can take that back to when we talked about it. I like the idea. I love Mike Pence. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, Pence has done great so
Pence
far.
has done a great job. However, here's another prediction right now. And I saw someone tweet this, so I don't want to take like the full credit of coming, up with it. But somebody tweeted it, they said the DNC is the party of women, the party of equality, and the party of this. But the first female president is going to be a conservative. You watch what we say. The first female president is going to be a conservative. I think making Nikki Haley a VP would be a huge step towards that direction. I think you got to have a female vice president before you get a female president. And so
I think she would serve the office
I don't hate it. And she would be a true counterbalance to Trump.
I agree.
True, complete counterbalance to him.
For sure.
Anyway, this is all just rumor mill. Don't know if it'll happen or not. But how do you combat two old white dudes on the DNC? You bring in a woman as your VP. That's not old, and right. So Nikki Haley is young. Nikki Haley is respected. She was the UN ambassador. She did an amazing job. She's got the street cred to pull it off for sure.
And she's about unity, which I think our country needs. So
yeah.
I really like her. I think she'd be a really good
Anyway, so you heard it here first. The first female president will be a conservative. And if, in fact, Trump does decide to switch his VP, we called Nikki Haley months ago. All right. Before we continue on to get into World War C, the coronavirus, let's get into a sponsor. All right, a lot of us are adults. We don't have time to go to college, but now colleges make it easier than ever before for you to go back. Ashford University has a very convenient and flexible online bachelor's and master's degree program. Allow you to learn at your own pace. You can study wherever you're the most comfortable. No standardized tests required. The SAT, GRE, GMAT, and other standardized test scores are not required to enroll at Ashford. It's fully accredited by the WASC Senior College and University Commission. Get on the road to earning your degree and making your dream job a reality. Enroll by going to ashford.edu/Graham. That's ashford.edu/Graham to start your degree today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen up, and you listen good. Now is the time for us to be serious. This is a Dear America first in, first out report of the dangers of World War C, the coronavirus. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Hide your kids, hide your wife. Listen to me right now. This is the one that's going to end it all, people. This is the one. Every Walking Dead episode needs to be on repeat right this second. You need to get prepared. You need to get the Lucille bat. You need to find you a Rick Grimes, and you need to find you, not his friend Shane or whatever his name was. Don't get one of those. No. You need a Daryl. You need a Daryl in your life, and you need him right now because this stuff ain't going anywhere. It's going to wipe us all out in Zombieland. I'm doing Zombieland. I really think that my life would be more like that.
Be like Woody Harrelson.
I truly believe that I would do very well in the zombie apocalypse.
I think you would do very well. I would die instantly.
Because I'm telling you right now, look,
you would do well.
There is a switch in me that secretly, I think most men are like that. There's this part in the back of our brain that goes, if ever laws really went out the window, I would do very well.
I'd be all right.
Yeah, I would be all right because I would never go after women and children, obviously, because, I have morals. But I'm telling you right now, You ain't getting me. That's just the way it is. You ain't getting me. Because, man, the first place we're going is to a National Guard armory. I'm getting everything they
That's
got
where
in there.
everybody's going to go
I'm
now.
telling you right
the
now.
Idea.
Look, listen to me. If you have a National Guard armory close to you, they've all got weapon safes in there and stuff. So there's always what?
I don't think you should be telling everybody our plan.
I'm not telling everybody our
giving it
plan.
away.
I'm trying to help everybody out.
Everybody's going to go.
This is zombie apocalypse survival 101. Don't go to Walmart like some rednecks have said. Do you know how easy it is to break into a Walmart? Anyway, point is, moving on, the coronavirus, okay?
Yeah, the media will make it look like it's that big of a deal.
Is it real? Is it fake? Is it being blown out of proportion? Dr. Drew made headlines in a viral clip just last week. Let's play that right now when they asked Dr. Drew directly, are we blowing the coronavirus out of proportion?
Are we overreacting?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I'm hearing this from doctors left and right.
Yes, and we are not overreacting. The press is overreacting, and it makes me furious. The press should not be reporting medical stories as though they know how to report it. If we have a pandemic, I won't know how to tell that we're actually having a pandemic because everything is an emergency. People that are infectious disease specialists, the CDC, the epidemiologists, need to take this very seriously. The press needs to shut up because you're more likely to die of influenza.
All right, so you heard it right there. Dr. Drew is an actual doctor. All right. I am not. I don't know if this comes as a shock to some of you listening. Why are you laughing, Jake?
You're a mathematician.
Why is that so funny all of a sudden? Anyway, I am not.
He's an author.
I am not. I am an author. I am an author. Yes.
Next is Doctor.
I am recognized
Dr. G.
author. Anyway, I am not what you would call a learned doctor. Okay. I did not go to school for medicine. So, I only can go off of what the news says versus what doctors are saying. The news would have you believe that, man, we are only a couple months away from World War C, which is why I named it that. It makes you think that, you know, that scene in the movie World War Z where they're trying to get over that huge fence and they're all piling on top of each other, zombies and stuff. That's what the media would have you believe is going on, man. Now, I will say that we do have friends. David Harris Jr. posted a video from one of his daughters who is stuck on a cruise ship right now.
Awful.
Now, I will say this, America, listen to me right this second. I don't care how cheap you got the cruise for right this second. Don't go on a cruise, all right? That's the dumbest freaking thing that you can possibly do right this second is go on a cruise. Also,
Alyssa, can you imagine Graham stuck on a cruise ship?
No.
I really think Graham would be that guy who jumps and then tries to swim to shore.
I'd jump. I would.
My sister actually had a cruise next week. She's in
doing
Oregon, and she had to cancel her. And Tony, my sister and brother-in-law,
you're
to
not
cancel.
getting me, man. I'd jump.
We go on a cruise in June, though.
No, we're
nothing's
not.
Stopping me.
I'm telling you right now, if this stuff doesn't calm down,
It's gonna die
I
out
ain't going on no cruise.
the heat,
You heard
not
it
with
right this
people.
second. You
No
can
way.
win a chance to go on a cruise
No,
with my
you can't.
wife because I will give my ticket
That's
up.
fine.
Taylor
As long as
has
someone
already
goes with me.
volunteered to go.
All right, it's sold.
Because my sweet love, we got a business to run, and God forbid
You would be fine
we
running it
get
from the cabin
quarantined
of our
with
cruise
what
ship.
equipment? Anyway,
fine.
my
It's
wife
good.
doesn't
it
think
seems
about
like
these
a
things. I'm not doing it.
surefire way to get it.
Yeah, you will be.
All
an
these cruise
instant
ships that are
media hit.
being
All right.
quarantined.
So do I believe that the coronavirus is being blown out of proportion? Yeah, I
Yes.
do. Okay. If you look at the statistics between the flu and all these other things, more people die from suicide every year than all
Well,
this
and
stuff.
remember, a lot of people die from the flu, and it's
Yeah.
elderly mainly, and young babies or people with
And that's another
disabilities.
thing. Of all the people that have died from the coronavirus so far, Dr. Drew talked about it in that video. They have all been immunocompromised. They've all had pre-existing conditions that make them very susceptible to severe effects from like the flu or things like that. The majority of flu deaths are from the elderly and children.
And we're not saying don't take precautions.
Of course not.
Wash your hands.
Even with the flu, I'm not saying during the winter go outside with no clothes on and jump in the water, right? Like there's certain precautions. Wash your hands all the time, literally all the time. Wash your hands, disinfect your hands. I have really started trying to, I'm a face toucher with my beard. I keep hitting the microphone. I like to touch my beard a lot and all this stuff.
Touching your face.
I'm really trying to be more aware of that kind of stuff.
Are you going to tell the story you did the last one about you and Gage?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So a lot of people in the media are talking about that it's racist to like equate the virus with Asian Americans and things like that. And I agree. By God, why should we do that? However, the other day going into the grocery store, Jake, it's kind of lost its punch a little because you've already heard it, but I'm going to tell it again. We're going into the grocery store the other day, and I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen, a Asian American man.
Lovely man, I'm sure.
Lovely guy, I'm sure. I'm sure he's got a family. He's a very nice guy. I'm sure he pays taxes. He walks out of the grocery store, people, okay? And here's one of those things. What was I supposed to do? He walks out of the grocery store, and he's got a mask on, okay? So now you're 2 out of 3 things happening. And then I kid you not, as the Lord is my witness, he coughs underneath the mask. Okay? Look, I'm not a stereotypical person. I'm really not. But in that moment, I have never been more racist in my entire life. Okay? I saw every horror film that you can possibly imagine. I saw all those like horribly flip phone recorded videos from China with people like passing out in the street and shaking. I saw everything. Okay. Got my oldest son with me. I grab him. We like steer clear of this dude. We go into the grocery store. I say, don't you touch nothing. Don't touch anything.
So I'm with the other 2 kids in the car.
You walk out.
All I see is like Graham and Gage like running back to the car.
The man coughed underneath a mask and he was an Asian.
You have to remember that Graham like has a not fear, but is very
it's a fear.
Okay.
I don't like germs. I have a problem with getting sick.
Yeah.
That's like my biggest fear.
Yes,
is to get sick and die from getting sick, which I know is dumb because the majority of people that do die probably die from like getting sick or something not working with their body.
Irrational, but
anyway,
it was kind of funny watching.
I don't like it. And we talked about last episode that there's a direct correlation. Like I'm not crazy that a lot of people in the public eye or a lot of people that seem really, outgoing all the time, there seems to be a lot of them have that fear.
Like Howie Mandel.
Yeah. No, now I'm not a germaphobe by any means. I'll shake people's hands and stuff. True. I'm not weird like that. But yeah, I don't like the thought of getting sick. It really bothers me. If I have to get my blood drawn, I'm in a really bad mood. I'm not in a good mood. I don't want to talk to you. I'm not happy about it. So the coronavirus and all this kind of stuff, I think, yes, we're blowing it out of proportion. However, if I see somebody, it didn't matter. He was an Asian guy. He just happened to be an Asian dude at the time. If I see a straight up ginger white dude with a mask on coughing, I don't know. I mean, now's not the time. Now is not the time to do that kind of thing.
There was the scientist who basically, because the media is blowing it way out of proportion, he was an advisor basically saying that Contagion was a warning of what's to come. Oh yeah,
the movie Contagion is trending on iTunes and everything.
But
I don't think I've ever seen it. Contagion.
It's pretty good. It's a pretty good movie.
I was talking to my mom about it yesterday at lunch, and she's a nurse. And I would just say, if you really are concerned, go to your doctor, because if he has common sense, they're going to tell you the same thing that we're telling you. The media's blowing it way out of proportion.
So speaking of other things I would do, because I don't like being sick, is New York Post posted this, and I didn't talk about this the last one. Real news, real article. Man locks wife in bathroom over fear she has the coronavirus.
Oh my gosh. You would do that.
I would straight lock you in the bathroom. I'm telling
just trying to be on the safe side.
That's right.
Look,
it's okay,
I love
honey.
you, baby. I just want to make sure. Anyway, I would totally do that.
Jake, why don't you tell the fact about 95% of our shots so I thought that was very
one thing that I'm
concerned
shots. About is that 95% of all of our antibiotics, all of our medicines, prescription drugs come from China.
Right.
So all the conspiracies behind it is kind of strange that if pandemic does hit, China has all the control and no, we don't have enough medicine.
Yeah,
that's when
interesting.
it becomes bigger than the flu.
And my mom was actually talking about that too, because I didn't realize that until yesterday, honestly. And so it is a little scary.
Yeah, I think that if there is any conspiracy theorists behind this whole coronavirus thing, I think it's more geared towards all the protesters in China as a way to get them off the street than anything else. I mean, I will nod towards that. You know, you got a huge protester issue in China because they want freedom like America. You got them singing the national anthem and waving the American flag. How do you get them out of the streets? World War C. That's how you get them out. Yeah, my voice is going out because this is the second podcast we've done. And I really gave it my all the last one.
You did
I really hate
job.
that you guys didn't get to hear that. It could have possibly been the greatest episode we've ever filmed. And it will live in infamy now. Well, no, infamy's bad. That's bad. It will live in, I don't know,
didn't get recorded, so
folklore
infamy to me.
Now for forever, because you will never know how majestified that episode was because we lost it. And
let's get into some funnies to
all
close
right, I got
the episode
one.
out.
All right, Alyssa, what do you got?
Oh, so Christy Lynn Woods, 37, basically boosted an ambulance while paramedics performed CPR on an unconscious woman in Southern Oregon.
God bless her.
Wait, she's not done. She then led police officers, sheriff's deputies, and state troopers on a high-speed chase up Interstate 5 for nearly 30 miles, also ramming a cop off the highway. Why?
What?
Wait, when she was arrested, though, she didn't deny anything she did. She said it was their fault because the ambulance left their car or ambulance unlocked.
I agree. What are we supposed to do
I mean,
at that point? What are you supposed to do?
If it's unlocked,
you might as well left $1 million in unmarked bills in front of me. I'm telling you right now, I'm taking it.
Pretty much.
I'm being for real. What? No. Yeah, man. Person just like it. Of course you should. But sometimes you just got to do stuff for the story, guys.
Well, she has a story. She was arrested.
That's what I'm saying.
On many counts.
Imagine that, drinking at a bar. What did you do today? Well, I stole an ambulance.
I didn't tell this one last time, and I'm going to. An EasyJet plane was forced to turn back twice because of drunk passengers. Can you imagine being on that plane?
Nope.
The first time they had to turn back for drunk passengers, and then it happened again by people just drinking too much on the airplane.
I'm telling you
and
right
getting
now,
rowdy.
I'm not flying. We just finished. Ooh, that's something we can talk. We just finished the HBO series The Outsider last night. Yes, fantastic.
It's good.
Show.
I enjoy that
but
stuff
there's
like that.
a character in there. She's like a private investigator, and she has aerophobia or something like that, where she has a fear of flying, which I can relate to. And she drives everywhere, 10, 12 hours, doesn't matter. With this whole coronavirus thing, I ain't flying nowhere. Not doing it. I'm driving.
Yeah, and I got to freaking fly next week.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, Jake.
Good for you, buddy. I'm not
Is it really worth it?
doing
Super excited.
I'm not doing
Wear a
it.
mask.
Not flying nowhere. Okay. So, what else was going on?
I got something.
Okay, go.
Speaking of like TV series, y'all excited for the new Hillary documentary series?
No.
Wait, got popcorn on the ready to go.
No.
I want to see Bill Clinton say that he cheated to deal with his anxiety.
Well, they asked Newt Gingrich to be on the show. They're like, hey, we'd love to have you interview. And he said, I'd rather stick needles in my eyes than to go on this documentary.
So graphic.
That's amazing.
Can't blame him.
I would do it
I mean,
other than hanging out with Hillary Clinton. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Who is going to watch? Well, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are going to watch it, man. But, you know, how much stuff did they have to omit out of that show is the big thing that I want to know.
Well, I'm sure she.
Yeah, it's going to be a big Trump
strong hand on what they put in there.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be.
I'm sure it'll cast her in the best light possible.
She actually has gone on the record to say she hasn't completely, like, officially endorsed anybody yet, but she said Bernie Sanders has the best shot to beat Donald Trump.
Oh my god.
I don't see
She's
it,
so
man.
manipulative.
I really don't. I don't see it. Like
Yeah,
you look at Bernie's crowds, and they're like, look at Bernie's crowds. He's pulling crowds that are. Well, they say equal to, but it's really not. And then I turn around and I say, no, he's not. AOC is pulling those crowds because he's got AOC showing up at rallies for Bernie rallies. And so it's actually people show. AOC is the real threat to everything right now. She's not a sleeper cell, but she's a a ticking time bomb.
Manchurian.
Yes.
Yeah,
Agreed.
because she can't run for anything right now because she's not
lining
old enough.
She's lining it up.
But she is the one that's actually pulling all these numbers and all these crowds. And that's why people were kind of shocked at the lack of young people turnout for Bernie at these Super Tuesday polls and things like that, because he is not really pulling these numbers. AOC is pulling these numbers. As far as this election goes, what a lot of people are not paying attention to on the Democratic side, which they should, and we'll end it out with this, is that Trump, an incumbent president who is really unchallenged, is pulling more votes than the Democratic nominees combined for an incumbent. This everything that's happening right now is showing a catastrophic showing in the polls for election day for the Democrats. Everything is showing that people are going to show up in monumentous just fashion for Donald Trump in November. Go ahead.
100%.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know if we wanted to mention the gender dysmorph. We don't
have time for that.
All right,
time.
we'll save it.
You
for
missed
next
a
one.
whole conversation about Dwayne Wade's 12-year-old transgender child. We'll talk about that next time.
But we do need to say that tonight is the Bachelor finale.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and Graham called it from day one. And Hannah Brown will not go away. She was their number one pick. Just
so
for
to
Bachelor
add
fans.
to my ability
She's
to
gonna
see
go on
into
Winter
the
Games.
future,
No,
I
not
called
Winter Games.
night one who the final
Summer
two
Games.
were going to be for The Bachelor, because it's really easy. I could be a talent scout for The Bachelor. I
think
really
you could
believe
be.
it, because it's not about who the best person is. It's about who the most attractive and who the most personality person is. You look for the person that's going to gain the most followers. Pay attention to these people's social media handles. If they start gaining followers on Instagram, they're going to end up being the final two
he
or
really
three.
did. Well, he really did call. For our friends were all around us, all the top two.
I know, because
I was impressed.
it's very easy to actually do it. Anyway, last but not least, we want to give a shout out to Red Arrow Weapons, sponsor to the show. They're fighting the battle in Virginia right now against the attack of our Second Amendment rights. We love those guys. 100% made in America weapons. Make sure you check them out. Also, pay attention to who these people are that are trying to go against Donald Trump in the election. Bernie Sanders is a socialist communist. Joe Biden is a senile old man that has onset dementia. And he said in a clip seen around the world last week in a Whataburger with Beto O'Rourke that he is going to come after your guns if elected. Pay attention to this kind of stuff, people. It's very important. Also, my book, America 316, is available for pre-order right now. You can go get that at America316.com. Every order right now gets an autographed copy. Jake, where can they find you?
Find me on Instagram at producer_Jake.
And Alyssa?
Alyssa Allen on Instagram.
And of course, I'm Graham Allen. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the Dear America podcast. Share, tell one friend, and give us 5 stars. It helps us in the ratings. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you all again next time.
Bye.
See ya.